Hi, good evening everyone. So, as we continue our program, today is the day 11. Today we will discuss the question related to geography. This week we will discuss the geography PYQ. A request to you, please write answer first and submit to the Edukemy portal before attending these classes. Okay, so those who are new here, this program is, we are discussing the previous year question. Daily one question are given to you in the Telegram groups of Edukemy. You are writing the answer and you are submitting your answer to the Edukemy website. It will be evaluated by our mentor. Okay, so this is the geography week. Let's start. So today's question was related to geography, specifically related to the ocean currents. Everybody know the ocean current? So the question was, what are the forces that influence the ocean currents and describe their role in the fishing industry of the world? What are the forces that influence the ocean currents and describe their role in the fishing industry of the world? So in the introduction, we need to address all the part of the answer. The first part is the introduction, second part is the body, and the third part is the conclusion. Okay, so in the first part, in the introduction itself, we will define the ocean current. So because the question is on the ocean current, so we will define the ocean current. So in the introduction, we will define what is ocean current. Then in the body part, there are two demands of the question. Number one demand, what are the forces that influence ocean current? The ocean current is influenced by the various kind of the forces, primary, secondary sources. We will discuss it, which are the major forces which influence the ocean current. So in the first body part, we will write the forces influence ocean current. This is the first demand of the question. Which are the forces which influence the ocean current? Hi Parveen. In the second part, we will describe the role of ocean current in the fishing industry of the world. Means how the ocean current are helping the fishing industry of the world. Fishing industry of the world, this will be the second part of the body. Then we will, in the third part, we will conclude the answer. So this is the main demand of the question, what is required to be addressed there. This was a question of 2022 UPSC prelims GS1 geography, and this is a 15-marker question. So we need to address here. We can also make the map in these type of the question by showing the ocean currents. It will give you some extra marks. I hope the question is clear to you. In the introduction part, we will define what is the ocean current. In the body part, we will address the demand of the question. Number one demand, what are the major forces that influence the ocean current? And the second part, we will address how the ocean current is helping the industry of the world, fishing industry of the world. So this is the decoding of the question. Now let's come to the first part. What will be the introduction? Anybody can define what is ocean current? Anybody? You can mention in the comment section. Okay, ocean currents. What is the meaning of the ocean current? When water flow in a particular direction, when a certain amount of the water flowing in a particular direction is known as the ocean current, specifically in the oceans. These are like the stream. The streams are flowing in a particular directions. The rivers are flowing in a particular direction. Similarly, the amount of water in the oceans which are flowing in a particular direction. Like if they are following this direction, this is the amount of water which are flowing in a particular direction. This amount of the water is known as the ocean current, which is flowing in a particular direction. So you can directly define the ocean currents. It will be better if you are adding the example in it. Anybody can tell me any example of the ocean current? Anyone? Okay. Canary current, we can write the Canary current. Orosio in Japan coast, Kuroshio, Gulf Stream. With the definition of the ocean current, you can list the two examples there also. Yes, the bands of moving water. Yes, Ali Muhammad, we can say that it's a band of the moving water. The amount of the water which are moving in a particular direction in the ocean is known as the ocean current. You can give the example of the Gulf Stream. You can give the example of the Canary current. So this will be the introduction of the question. Okay, clear? Now come to the body part. What is the main demand of the body? As we discussed, the question has a two part. The one part, we need to address which forces impacting the ocean current. In the second part, we need to address how ocean current helping fishing industry. Okay, let's come to the first part. If we are dividing the first part in the two pair, so one can be, we can write the primary forces. Primary forces which impacting the ocean currents, and second is the secondary forces which impacting the ocean current. So one is the primary forces, those are impacting the ocean currents, and the secondary forces which are impacting the ocean current. So in the primary forces, what are the example? Anybody can tell what are the example of primary forces? Okay, ठीक है, लिख लीजिए. Number one, atmospheric circulation. Atmospheric circulation, as the due to the atmospheric circulation which are in the different belt of the atmosphere which influence the water to flow in a particular direction. It's not the wind system is different, like you can say in a different belt of the wind system that is moving from the one belt to the another belt. That's the atmospheric circulation, Ali. Okay, so atmospheric circulation influence the water to moving in a particular direction. So atmospheric circulation, so in the atmospheric circulation, it moves from the one direction to the another direction. So atmospheric circulation is the one of the region. Second region, okay, second region is the insolation. Insolation, as the amount of the sun heat wave, heat energy is coming to earth, it will lead to the warming of the water. It leads to the warming of the water. If the water is warm up, then it will expand. It means the expansion of the water. When it will be warmed up, it will be the expansion of the water, and that expansion lead to the rise in the level of the water. That expansion lead to rise in the level of the water. That's why at the equator level, the water level is high to 7 to 8 centimeter as comparison to the poles. So this lead to the movement of the water. This lead to the movement of the water from equator toward the pole side because of the level of the water. Clear? The first was the atmospheric circulation, and the second is the insolation. Then we can come up to the planetary winds. Ali, you were saying about the planetary winds. This can be the third one, the planetary winds, which are moving from the one band to the another bands. The planetary winds can be the third one. These winds also help in the movement of the water from the one direction to the another direction. That the planetary winds, which are helping the movement of the ocean current from the one direction to another direction. So the first is the atmospheric circulation, we can say. Second is the insolation. Third is the planetary winds, and the fourth is the gravity. Fourth is the gravity. we can write the fourth is the gravity. The gravity also help in the moving of the water. The gravity tends to pull the water down and it piles up the gradient. It help in the moving the water down and it help in the piling up the gradients. Then the last but not the least, Coriolis force. Everybody know about the Coriolis force? What is the Coriolis force and how it's impacting the ocean current? Anyone can tell me. Let's make it a two-side discussion. Let's make it a two-side discussion. What is the Coriolis force? It's impacting the movement of water from northern hemisphere in the southern hemisphere. Like during the rotation of the earth, the Coriolis force play an important role. So in the movement of the ocean current is also playing a role in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. These are the primary forces. If I list down these forces, these are given here. The primary forces, the planetary winds due to the circulation in the different belts, insolation, it leading to the warm up of the water, which lead to increase the level of the water. Then the atmospheric circulation, the air will come in contact with the water and that lead to the friction between the water and the air, that leads to the movement of the water again. False force generated from the earth rotation, you can say. Yes, Ali. Then the gravity. Gravity tends to apply its forces that's taking the water downwards, that lead to the movement of the water again. And the Coriolis force impacting the movement of the ocean currents in the southern and the northern hemisphere respectively. So these are the primary forces which influence the ocean currents. So these are the primary forces which are influencing the ocean currents. Now come to the secondary forces which also impacting the ocean current in a one way or the another way. So number one, we can say the density. We can say the density is the first one. Density, higher density water. If the density of the water is high, it will be sink down. If it will be sink down, then there will be the then the high density water will be the come down and the low density water will be the come up. That lead to the circulation of the water again. So first is the density of the water. Then the salinity of the water. If the salinity of the water is high, means if the water is highly saline, it means the density of the water will increase. So high salinity water will also lead to the upwelling and it will also lead to the high density of the water, which lead to the movement of the ocean currents. Okay. Temperature. Next is the temperature. If you know the some of the warm current, some are the cold current. Warm current move from equator to the poles and the cold current move from poles to equator to maintaining the temperature. So that maintenance of the temperature also causes the movement of the ocean currents. Then the land masses. If there is a high land masses, then the land become more warm. Then the warming of the land create a pressure difference there. This pressure difference will lead to the movement of the ocean currents. So these are the secondary forces, the density, salinity, temperature and the land masses. And the primary forces are the planetary winds, then gravity, atmospheric circulation we can say, Coriolis force we can say. These are the primary forces which leads to influence and the movement of the ocean water or the ocean currents. Clear to everyone? Okay. So now let's see the map. You can also draw the map of the ocean currents. आप किसी भी एक particular 2-3 ocean currents को दिखा सकते हैं map. It's not like कि you need to show the complete map. You can show the 2-3 currents in a map, drawing the map of the 3 country. So you can show these maps. Like you can create this part and you can make the current. You can show the warm current. You can show the cold current there. It will fetch you then one marks extra than the others if you are not showing the current. Okay. So if we see, this is the warm current, this is the cold current. Then the Gulf Stream, again warm. Then the Norwegian current, East Greenland current. Then this Oglas current in Africa, Oglas current. And we can say the Eastern Australian current. These red color currents given are here are the warm currents, and the blue currents are given here are the cold current. Okay, so you can make map there. So this is the, we can say the, in the South Africa, this is the Peru part is having the cold current, and here this side the Brazil is having the warm current. So you can present the map, you can draw the map there, so you can fetch the extra marks. Now we need to tell about how these ocean current helping the fishing industry in the world. This was the second demand of the question. How these ocean currents help the fishing industry in the world. So number one, when both the currents, even the cold current and the warm current combine together, they mix together, they create a fishing ground there. That is the most suitable condition for the fishing. If you see anywhere like this region, cold current and the warm current are meeting together, this is the high fishing ground there. Similarly, in the area of this area, in the Japan coast, we can say, this area where the cold current and the warm current are meeting together, they are making a fishing grounds. It's having the highest nutrient, it can create the condition, it creates a suitable temperature for the fishing. So this is one of the largest region. How they are supporting the fishing industry. So if we see the particular points, how the ocean currents are supporting the fishing industry in the world. Number one, mixing of the water. As we discussed, the mixing of the water, when the warm water mixed with the cold current, warm current mixed with the cold current, they create a fishing grounds. That fishing grounds are very suitable temperature for the fish. Second, growth of the planktons. The same region, when the different kind of the currents, warm currents and the cold current mixed together, so the temperature was suitable for the growing of the plankton also. And the planktons become the food of the fish. That will help in the growing the fish in that area. Then the help fishermen, how the ocean current are helping the fishermen. One way, in creating the fishing grounds. Second way, when the fisherman is going for the fishing, then in the direction of the current, they are helping the flowing into the oceans. So they take a less force if they are going in the same direction of the edge of the ocean currents. Okay, we can easily identify the fish location now when we know there are some certain area where the warm water current and the cold water currents are mixing together, or that are the area of the fish location. So we can easily identify the fish location by identifying where the warm current and the cold current are combining together. So one, mixing of the water, which creating a ground for the fishing. Second, the growth of the planktons. It's create a good condition, good temperature that's required for the growth of the plankton. Even the nutrients rich area this is, which help in the growth of the plankton in that area, and that plankton become the food of the fishes. Okay, clear? Upwelling due to the offshore winds or currents, lots of nutrients come to the ocean surface. Ali Mohammed, yes, this is the region in this area. Upwelling is higher amount because of the mixing of the currents that lead to the upwelling, and due to the upwelling, the nutrient rich area are created there. That nutrient will help in the growth of the fishes and the growth of the planktons also. That is the next point, the nutrient balance. In this area, there are the nutrient balance which lead to the, maybe due to the upwelling in this area, and these proper temperature conditions and these planktons lead to the nutrient balance and the upwelling also. Salinity balance, when the warm current and the cold current mix together, the salinity will decrease, and also due to the upwelling, the salinity will decrease. So this creating a very perfect condition, we can say, for the fishing grounds. It creates a very perfect condition for the fishing grounds. So the ocean currents are helping the industry of the fishing in the world in this way. Okay, the mixing of the water, the growth of the planktons, the helping the fishermen through the fish location, the salinity balance, then the nutrient balance. This was the second part of the question. The first part we addressed, which are the forces which influence the ocean current. We identify the two type of the forces. One is the primary forces and the second is secondary sources. In the primary forces, they are the circulation of the winds, atmospheric circulation, Coriolis force, gravity. These are the primary forces. Secondary forces are the temperature. And secondary forces, we can see that there are temperature influence. Temperature के साथ salinity है. That's also impacting the forces which are having the impact on the ocean currents. Density. This is also the secondary forces. Then we address the second part of the question. The second part of the question, how the role of ocean current in the fishing industry helping the world. तो कैसे वो fishing industry में help करते हैं? So these are the, some of the example. The mixing of the cold current and the warm current. Then the growth of the plankton in that area where the water is mixing, because it's a suitable condition. It's a suitable temperature for the growth of the fishing, and also for the planktons. Then decrease in the salinity. If the water is mixed together, the salinity will decrease, and the salinity also decrease due to the upwelling. It also maintains a nutrient balance there, which lead to the growth of the fish as well as the planktons. So it creates a suitable condition. So we can identify the region where the fishing grounds can be. Easily we can identify here in the Northern America, this region. You will find at the coast, this region, in the Japan coast, where the Oishio and the Kuroshio currents mix together. So if you are making or drawing the map in the paper and showing these fishing grounds, showing the currents, you will get an extra marks. And this is a 15 marker question, and the map is required in the geography. Okay. Then you can conclude your answer by giving a certain facts about the fishing grounds. You can write the Indian potential is the 5.31, and it's increase the demands due to the fishing demands increase होने की वजह से, it's also having the great impact there. So you can also conclude in the one way, ocean currents are helping the fishing grounds, and some of the factors which impacting the ocean currents, and due to these ocean currents, the fishing का जो export है in the market, that's increased. So you can also verify some of the data, some of the organizations के conclusion से भी you can conclude this answer. Okay, clear? Any doubts? Any doubts in it? You can mention in the comment section. So we discussed the introduction, we discussed the body part. You can conclude the question very well, because the conclusion is the same importance as the introduction is. So this is done from my side. We will meet tomorrow at 6 p.m. Tomorrow question will be also on the geography. So please try to write the answer and submit to the portal. We are also launching our GS main support program. This program is specifically those who are writing the 2023 mains or those who are targeting the 2024. So this is the suitable for both. We are discussing the previous year question, trends, analysis, providing the answers of all the PYQ from 13 to 22. We are providing the practice test. So in this test series, you will get a 500 questions to write. So it will help to build up your concept. So this is a program good for even for the 2023 mains, those who are writing here, and also for the 2024, those who are preparing for the 2024. But the one condition, those who completed their general study program last year, only those are eligible to join this course. Okay. Thank you. So we will meet tomorrow again at 6 p.m. Thank you.